Hola, YouTube. No GTR this weekend. However, I want to give you guys a glimpse of another project I've been working on for a couple years. My RX-7. This is my 1985 Mazda Rx7 GSL SE. Came stock with a 13B rotary engine, but unfortunately when I bought it off of my buddy, it had two blown seals on the front rotor. So needless to say, got it for a bit of a deal, and I've been working on it for the past 3 years or so. She was taken down all the way to a bare shell and completely rebuilt from the ground up. Every part's been either replaced, upgraded, repainted, refinished. It's basically a brand new car inside and out. But unfortunately, I did not keep a rotary. Sorry to break your guys' hearts that are rotary fanatics. It's got an SR20 in it. I actually did have a 2JZ, and hang on, let me put this hood stopper up here. I had a 2J in it, but the intake runners were hitting my master cylinder, so I opted to rip my SR out of my S13 and put it in here. It's actually running an S13 front cross member. It's been re-drilled to fit this subframe, or this chassis, sorry. And actually, it's kind of scary how easily everything bolts up to this FB chassis. It's almost like it was made to be in there. The transmission's not in it. It's over here. Here's a slew of parts all laid out. Unfortunately, I'm in the wedding planning mode right now, and I kind of have to make some sacrifices on how many toys I have. So between my GTR, my S13, the RX-7, my E90, kind of have to free up some funds for the good old wedding. So I'm actually pulling this motor out, and Buddy is actually going to be picking it up from me this weekend. So who knows, maybe I'll get another SR down the road, or maybe an RB. I don't know. We'll kind of see how I'm feeling. But yeah, so I'm going to be taking this out this weekend, but I figured I'd give you guys a view of everything before I start taking shit apart. So let's do a little walk around. So as you can tell, the entire engine bay has been completely redone. Ripped everything out, sanded it, primed it, painted it. I took all the brake lines out, refinished those. It's got brand new master cylinders for the brake and the clutch. New windshield washer fluid reservoir. You can see the top hats for my T3 coilovers. I did a full wire tuck, so it actually, let me walk around the front here. It actually runs through the sidewall into right behind the fender here, and then it runs up underneath the fender, and you can kind of see right here, and then it goes through this cross support to the passenger side for all the plugs on that side. So you don't see any chassis wires in the engine bay, so it stays nice and clean. I was planning on doing a wiring specialties harness for the SR, but obviously I'm pulling that out. So whatever engine does go in it, I'll be doing a nice clean wire harness install too. This is kind of just my fun car, if you will. So obviously the wheels have much more meat compared to the stock counterparts. These are the Atara Paisangs. They are 15 by 9 in the front and 15 by 10.5 in the rear, and they're wrapped with Toyo R888s all the way around. When I pull off the front wheel, you guys will get a better view of the suspension and the brake setup that I got. It was 4x100, but I converted it to 4x114 so I could run these wheels. I know people are like, well, why didn't you just convert it to 5-lug, bro? Well, I wanted to run these wheels, so that was the whole purpose of that. I still need to get the rear over fenders in the back, but the fronts actually fit the stock fenders pretty well, and there's not a whole lot of camber on it at all, but I'll probably still put just some small overs on there just to clean it up. Fender mirrors, and I made some little carbon block-off plates for the doors. This wing is actually my Voltex wing off of my WRX. Actually works out pretty good on this chassis. If you can't tell from my GTR, I love big spoilers. I'm a fanboy at heart. And this is for my mom. Fuck cancer. She passed away in November of 2015, so this car has a lot of sentimental value. It was actually, well, not this car, but when I was 16, I had a 1981 RX7. And so yeah, it's kind of cool to finally get another chassis and do a complete build just for myself. Let's take a gander at the interior. So I apologize if it's a little dark. I don't really have good lighting in this garage like my other one. So I pulled out the dash. I pulled everything out. But when everything was apart, I flocked the dash and the center console and the headliner, microfiber suede. So it's all nice and smooth. Ooh, sexy. I made some carbon fiber block-off plates for the center console as well as my gauge cluster. So I'll run some custom gauges. It's my NRG wheel out of my S13. Brand new carpet. It's kind of hard to see. Sorry. But when everything was out, I repainted the interior of the chassis and I wrapped all the back panels here and that little drape curtain shit and suede as well, so it ties in with the dash. And I got the T3 door cards with the awesome red racing strap because race car. So yeah, that's the interior. Planted brackets, although I'll probably go with custom ones instead because I keep hitting my head on the ceiling with different wheel setups, so I gotta make my ass sit lower. But yeah, that is the interior. Alright, so let's take off the wheels and check out the brakes and suspension. Alright, here's behind the wheel. I got T3 front coils with roll center adjusters and new energy suspension bushings all throughout the chassis. I have all new steering components, all Moog steering components. I'm also running an adapter to run the larger FC bearing and the 4x114 front hubs with Turbo 2 front brakes. I got the steel braided lines, but they're in a box. I haven't hooked them up yet. And here you can see the re-drilled S13 front crossmember with the stock FB LCAs to keep the stock geometry. So I recoated the fender wells as well. Get it? Yeah, you can see the ground. That's where the wire harness goes, and then it runs under that support, or runs through that support right there. So it's all tucked and out of sight. So yeah, that's the fronts, or that is the front. All right, bye bye SR20. Last view with the SR in it. Without a heart yet again. Now I gotta put it all back together. Well, I gotta get back to work, so you guys have a good one.